Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a squat and deadlift day, and decided to just ramp up to a fairly heavy single today on the squat. Again, I just want to build this up and kind of want to see where I can get to while keeping it reasonable as I'm rebuilding my squat. Obviously, I need to bring my quads and everything back up, but I feel like the belt squats are going to do a really good job of that. So again, I just kind of started with 3 plates and worked up from there. Obviously, it's a 55-pound bar, so that's, was it 325, then it goes 415. Then I went up to 465. It felt like a good training max, felt like it was at least 90%, so I kind of called it there. But I think that's the way I want to do my squats for a bit. I don't like rep work on squats. I can do machines and other stuff to get that pump volume. The main thing I just need to work on is just getting strong again on them. And again, that's worked for me in the past. So yeah, just kind of keep working the technique, work heavy singles. But again, I'm probably not going to really hit true maxes. I want them to look as easy as this 465 did. Might not want them to be just as easy as this until I get back up into the 500s. And I almost didn't want to do this bar today. My shoulders felt a little stiff. They didn't hurt. It was just they felt a little tight getting them into place, even after doing a dead hang after the incline work and stuff yesterday. But they weren't painful, so my shoulders actually feel good. But it took me a minute to kind of find a grip on my bar where I could kind of get it down on the back of the trap, into a somewhat low bar position. But yeah, pretty happy with that. It wasn't that fatiguing. Deadlifts, as I've said, I want to stick with just rep work. I don't want to bury myself with heavy deadlifts. And I went back to the stiff bar, and I didn't know what it was going to feel like today, and I could definitely tell. I went up to 515. I'm like, let me just do a good work set, and again, adapt to the changes in the diet. I'm already starting to feel a little better, feeling a little more hydrated. I can tell now that I started adding a bunch of fruit back in. As soon as I added it all in yesterday, I started cramping up, hamstrings, everything, and I didn't do legs yesterday. So it let me know I've definitely been an electrolyte issue. I think it's been a lot of almost a dehydration issue in this heat and not getting my diet perfect for that. So that's definitely what I need to do. Need to focus on a lot of antioxidants, need to focus on potassium in my diet. Just overall hydration, and I just did 4 reps at that. I'm like, it felt a little tough on the grip, so I'm going to call it there. Again, mainly because my grip has been feeling a little rough, and that's why I went back to that stiff bar. Now, you guys have seen me do 500 for 8 on that bar a while back, but that was before it quite got to this level of heat that's been really, really bothering me. But I have a feeling, since I've looked at the diet aspect, because that's really what's bothering me in this heat more than anything. It's not been the training loads, it's been the diet of just focusing on good recovery, hydration. So again, taking my diet back to mostly fruit and just lean animal proteins. That seems to do well for me. Plus, I'll probably look leaner pretty quick when I do that. That's something I've always noticed. So maybe 2 weeks from now, I may look quite a bit leaner. We'll see what happens. Since I'm shirtless on camera all these training days, we can literally see whatever happens week to week. Now, I decided I'm going to keep pushing the belt squats hard, but I need to push them for volume works, for 10s, and I'm touching the plates on the floor on pretty much most of the reps and just pausing. I went up to the 200 I did last time. And honestly, I'm like, I know I've got a rep or 2 in the tank. I'm not really pushing these hard enough. I'm like, I feel like I'm pussing out. I'm like, I'm stronger than this. What happened? The strength is coming back up. It means my quads are about to be blowing back up. I threw another 25. I threw a 25 on there for the 3rd set and still got 10. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely sandbagging here. And we know that as lifters, when we're doing sets, and it's like, because I was just like, well, I bet you the 10s will be challenging today. They were last time. They really weren't. I'm like, I know I could have done 2 more reps. Let me just quit pussing around for that 3rd set. Because sometimes I don't know how it's going to go. I'm doing glute ham raises between, and these really fatigue me. So I don't always know how these are going to affect it. But they didn't affect me negatively. And this is the first sign to me that, okay, all right, it's definitely been the nutrition side, and I think a lot of it's just hydration, antioxidants, hydration meaning electrolytes. because I did pretty good today on the belt squats. I got to this last set. I went up to the, up another 25 pounds. And this was like a 6-rep max for me a week or so ago, right? And I knocked out 10 reps. Now keep in mind, I've already done a heavy squat, did some deadlifts, other stuff before these. So I got 10 reps. They were fairly challenging reps, but I don't think this was even true failure. I know I could have done another rep. So what does this tell me? It means we kind of half-assed this workout on this. But since it was heavier and more total volume than we did previously, we'll still grow off of it. Because that's the thing, even if you're sandbagging a little, especially with old muscle memory, it comes back. So this tells me that next workout, what does that mean? Need to add more weight. Well, not more weight. We need to keep that weight and do all 3 sets. If we can complete all the sets, we need to bump the weight. If they feel like that set felt all the way through the end, I need to start adding, another 5-10 pounds each time. Work it up. These were challenging. I struggled to get the last rep. I didn't think I was going to get it. But my hamstring strength is definitely starting to bounce back a little. Again, I think it's diet. And rather than do abs and other stuff, I decided to finish up. I'm like, let me just do my reverse hypers with 30-second breaks between sets until they get fatiguing. And I did 6 sets. I've been doing 3 or 4 some of these, and I managed to just knock out my 6 today. So again, everything's in a good place. And as far as this workout goes, I don't feel like I worked out. This workout was really easy, even though there was a little bit of progress here, other than that deadlift was, I don't really feel like I worked out. I feel no different than I did when I got up this morning and drinking my coffee. So that's a good place to be in, to have trained in this heat. And realistically, the workloads used here today were pretty high, right? Everything I did today is indicative of a 600-pound deadlift. Again, all the supplemental work, which we know I can pull over 600. You guys have seen me do it recently, not that long ago. So we're in a good place there. I feel like for deadlift grip is really just the thing. Got to keep working grip. And I think I'm going to do all my pulling for a bit with the stiff bar for a little while. That helps my grip. I'm going to keep doing all the rowing on my upper body days. At some point, I may want to work some fat bar work. And I wanted to do some good mornings today, but I want to ease back into that with this heat. But I feel like in the near future, I need to start pushing some good mornings also. Like, I feel like all this supplemental work I just did here, this is a good volume threshold for these movements, but I could really use a couple sets of heavy good mornings. And I think as long as I can recover from it, that'll be what kind of pushes me back up. Right? I think particularly the squatting as my quads grow. Get my quads and adductors back up, which the belt squats will do. I think particularly after doing the heavy squatting first. That's really kind of the trick I found of blowing my quads up, is to do a heavy squat and then do that pump volume and create fatigue with it. It's always worked well for me. But yeah, we're going to take the squat seriously again now. I want to be up in the 500s and have it just as easy as that 465 was today. So that's a goal to be back to by the end of the year. Deadlifts, I don't feel like deadlifting heavy. I'm just going to do rep work, and the rep work and these other movements build my deadlift. As long as I can grip it, I'm good. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.